What's going on, guys? It's Alex, the real Mr. Robinson here. So this is unusual. I'm doing a trailer video, which I don't normally do on YouTube anymore. It just was a little too time consuming. The last trailer review that I did was for Shin Godzilla back in 2016. Because nowadays, thanks to the Stardust app, I do all of my trailer reactions just in the snap of a finger. 30 seconds, that's all I need to say about a trailer. And if you guys don't know what Stardust is, it's pretty much this movie, TV show app that allows you to go in, do 30-second reactions to a movie, TV show, trailer, theme park ride, award show, you name it. So if you love movies or TV shows that much, but you don't want to put the effort into doing a YouTube video, then Stardust is absolutely perfect for you. Because you get in, do a 30-second review for whatever you're tackling, get out, post it, and it's done. You could do all of that within a minute, and this is how I've been doing all of my trailer reviews and reviews for individual TV episodes. But I'm making an exception for this one, because a few days ago, the Avengers Infinity War trailer dropped. I'm still nerdgasming all over it. It's a badass trailer. So I figured, yeah, I have a lot to say about it that requires more than 30 seconds. So hey, why not do a trailer review? And why not feature your reactions out there from the world of Stardust? I was originally planning to do one for Tomb Raider, but that movie was just so boring, and I didn't really have much else to say that would really warrant a second video. But Avengers Infinity War, I got a lot to say. This is a part of an ongoing partnership with the Stardust app, and if you want the chance to be featured in one of my future Stardust videos, just go ahead, download the app on your phone, create an account, go ahead, follow me, RealMrRobinson, tag me in your reactions to whatever movie or TV show or trailer I request, and then look out for that video to see if you got featured. You could also go to the link right here, stardust.app.link/RealMrRobinson, and again, don't forget to tag me in your reactions if you want them featured. At the end of this video, I'm going to be telling you guys what the next Stardust video will be, so that way you can see it and tag me in your reactions. But anyway, Infinity War. This movie is 10 years in the making for Marvel. It all started with Iron Man, it led up to the original Avengers, which that itself planted seeds that leads up to this, Avengers Infinity War. And everyone's looking forward to it. I think everyone's pretty positive that it's going to stick out and really hit it out of the park, because you just got so many great things going for it. Like I mentioned before, this is 10 years in the making, and Marvel has been very careful at just basically constructing this roadmap to get to Infinity War. And all the things that I want to talk about concerning this trailer, I'll be using reactions from Stardust as talking points. So let's start things off with the reaction from... where is she? Kinetic Fox. I featured her in my Black Panther spoiler review, and now she has stuff to say about Avengers Infinity War, at least the final trailer.
Oh my god, okay, I'm back with the ears. I had the Winter Soldier shirt on. Are you kidding me? What is that shot with Cap pushing back Thanos? What are you talking about? Oh my god! Of course I recorded my reaction. I'm gonna try to cut it up, put it on here. What? Baby Gamora! Like, what is going on? Ah, I gotta buy my tickets.
Alright, so I guess I'm just jumping into my favorite part of the entire trailer is at the end of the trailer, right before it says Avengers Infinity War. We see a scene where Thanos is attacking Steve Rogers, not Captain America, because he gave up that identity at the end of Civil War. So in Infinity War, he's just going to be plain old Steve Rogers, but on steroids. But anyway, Thanos is attacking Steve Rogers, and Steve grabs the gauntlet and is preventing Thanos from crushing him, and Thanos has this look like he's struggling to crush this one human being, and I absolutely love it. It reminds me of that panel from the Infinity Gauntlet storyline, where Captain America is the only guy standing in front of Thanos and says, "You will not achieve victory as long as one man stands." And I feel like this moment in the trailer is probably going to be the closest we're going to get to that moment in the comics. And I just don't see Steve Rogers making it out of this. Out of all the heroes, Steve Rogers is my highest pick to be killed off, which part of me doesn't want to, because he's my favorite character in the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe. And then there's another shot in the movie where we see Gamora as a child holding on to Thanos. Obviously, it's during a flashback sequence. It has to be. And I feel like we're going to get a lot of character development with Gamora this time around, because she's pretty much Thanos' adoptive daughter. So we're going to get that whole backstory. We're going to get a lot more on Thanos. And he is really shaping up to be potentially Marvel's best villain because they built him up since the first Avengers. They've been planting little seeds here and there on how threatening he is, especially in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, based off the stories that Gamora and Nebula tell. And I mean, Josh Brolin's the perfect pick for this. He's got the voice, he's got the look. Even though he's covered in CGI makeup, you can see hints of Josh Brolin in there, just like you can see hints of Mark Ruffalo when he plays the Hulk. So I had the utmost confidence that Thanos is going to kick some serious ass. So next up, we got a familiar face within the YouTube movie review community, Mr. Jay Washington.
The hell? Yo! The Infinity War trailer is bananas. Full shots of the Black Order, Captain America holding Thanos' arm with the gauntlet, the interaction of Tony Stark, Star-Lord, Spider-Man, and Drax. Yo, take my money now. Like, you get what I'm saying? Take it in reserve. You've got it for several tickets and screenings. What?
Yeah, as soon as this trailer ended, the first thing that went to my mind was that moment in Futurama where it's just like, shut up and take my money. Now, one thing that Jay mentioned is that there's a moment in the trailer where Tony Stark and Peter Parker meet up with the Guardians of the Galaxy, specifically Peter Quill and Drax the Destroyer. And it's a great moment because we have these characters from two far sides of the universe meeting up for the first time. And two of them, Peter Quill and Tony Stark, are very similar in terms of being smartasses. So Tony Stark has obviously come up with some sort of plan to try to defeat Thanos. It's probably what he says in the narration during the trailer. And Peter Quill says, let's talk about this plan. I think it's good, except it sucks. So let me do the plan, and that way it could be good. And after that, Tony Stark just goes, wow. And what I love during that whole conversation, Tony Stark is not even making eye contact at Peter Quill. And it's just so funny to see these two characters that are very similar meet up. And I feel like one of them, probably Tony Stark, is going to be the one to realize that talking to Peter Quill is like looking at himself in a mirror. The reason I say Tony Stark's probably going to be the one to do that is because we've spent more time with Tony Stark. We spent 10 years with this character as opposed to the 4 years that we spent with Peter Quill. And Peter Quill's kind of dumb. I mean, I love Chris Pratt as Peter Quill / Star-Lord, but if we're comparing Quill to Stark, Stark is just a more intelligent being. But yeah, I can't wait to see more interactions. I especially can't wait to see how Groot and Rocket will interact with any of the Avengers, especially Tony Stark, especially considering that both Rocket and Stark are very crafty when inventing things. So I'm on board with this. The next reaction comes from a YouTuber who I just recently discovered over the past few weeks, and that is Finally Tailored. It's a clever name.
So much going on in this trailer. So many characters thrown at us all at once. So much Thanos that we finally get to see.
And so little Thor. I only saw Thor twice and it's freaking me out. What's Loki doing with all those crazy guys? They ended it with Spider-Man?
I know. Spider-Man and Doctor Strange talking to each other.
What's up with
We have Star-Lord in there.
Oh my god,
Cracking
so much
jokes.
Star-Lord. What's up with the needles in Doctor Strange's face?
Voldemort. Full trailer reaction coming on the channel where we talk about it.
So I'll put a link to her channel down in the description below so you can go check her out. And she's been on the Schmodown before. But anyway, going back to the possibility of a bunch of characters dying, we don't see Thor that much throughout most of the trailers. We see him with the Guardians, and then we see him with Thanos as he's crushing his head. And we also don't see that much of Loki. We only see Loki in one area, both in the stills and in the trailers. So I'm willing to bet that Loki is going to get killed within the first act of the movie. Maybe even before the title sequence, Loki will be killed. And I feel like Thor's going to get it. I feel like Tony Stark's going to get it. I feel like the Vision is going to get it. Doctor Strange, I don't think he's going to get killed because he was just in one movie and he had a cameo in Thor Ragnarok. But that moment in the trailer where one of the members of Thanos' Black Order is basically shushing Doctor Strange as he's being tortured and screaming, that leads me to believe that they've got the Time Stone. And as we saw in the first trailer when they were attacking Vision and taking out the Mind Stone, it just leads me to indicate that those are 2 extra stones that Thanos has got. Because throughout all the trailers, we see he's got the Power Stone, which we last saw in Guardians of the Galaxy from the orb, And he's got the Space Stone, I believe, which is from the Tesseract from the Avengers, Captain America the First Avenger, Thor Ragnarok, yada 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 yada. So I'm willing to bet that Doctor Strange is not going to die, but those other characters that I mentioned will. And I had some theories on how they would die, but I'm not going to say them out loud just in case they turn out to be true, because I don't want to end up spoiling the movie before it even comes out. Alright, moving forward to a YouTuber that I get into occasional conversations with on Twitter, Rachel, aka Smiling LDS Girl.
It just seemed like, wow, it was going to be super cluttered, but this trailer was awesome. It just gave you enough of like all these characters that look like they're going to be really fun together, and it looks like Thanos is pretty amazing, and it made me really excited. So I'm definitely going to be buying my ticket, and I'm going to be looking forward to it.
You know, it's funny, thinking back to the first Avengers in 2012, I was so worried that that movie wasn't going to work just based on the fact that it was too many characters in it. I mean, it was an Avengers movie, so we already knew all these characters were going to come together, but at the time, it was never done before, so I'm like, can they pull this off? And they did. And then with Civil War just 2 years ago, I was thinking, man, it's supposed to be a Captain America movie, but they're doing Civil War. Can they really balance everything out? And once again, they did. So with this, I'm watching it and going, no, we need more heroes in here. We need Ant-Man, we need Hawkeye, we need Captain Marvel, we need the Wasp. Throw in some more. And the idea of this movie being 2 hours and 36 minutes, for me, and I never thought I'd say this in my life, and this is not me fanboying at all, well, maybe it is, but 2 hours and 36 minutes feels very short for this movie. Because of the massive scope, because of all the many characters that you have in this movie, I feel like you needed this to be 3 hours. Or you know what, at a 2.5 hour runtime, and this many characters in the mix, it might work out. It might make the movie feel a lot faster than it actually is. Because I know I've seen a lot of movies that are 2.5 hours that don't need to be. Civil War was a real testament to how quickly a 2.5 hour movie could move, and while you do feel the length in that movie, you're never bored. With both Civil War and The Dark Knight, you watch both those movies and go, yeah, they're long, but keep going, I want to see more. And then with the first Avengers, while it's not exactly 2.5 hours, it moves so quickly that at a point where I thought I was 10 minutes in the movie, I'm actually 30 minutes in the movie. Even though it's 2.5 hours and there's so many characters in here, I feel like this movie might move pretty quickly, but never in a point where we feel rushed. Next up, we have a familiar face that I featured on my spoiler review for Annihilation, Outlaw Noah.
What's up, guys? So the Avengers Infinity War trailer dropped this morning, and one thing I was really looking forward to was seeing Star-Lord and Iron Man's like humor bounce off each other, and we've already seen some of it now in the trailer, and it looks really funny. I am super excited to see more of that. Everyone looks dope. Thanos looks just as cool as he did in the first trailer. Spider-Man looks cool. Doctor Strange. Where's Hawkeye? We don't know. But it looks really good. I'm so damn excited.
Okay, so where is Hawkeye throughout this whole trailer? Because he was one of the first 6 members in terms of the Avengers team that the MCU started out with. And B, why do so many people care about Hawkeye now? I thought I was in the minority of people caring about Hawkeye, because when the first Avengers came out, everyone made fun of the fact that Hawkeye was just kind of useless, and I was one of the few guys that was like, no, he proves himself to be a very reliable member and a very useful one. Even though he's not himself throughout most of the movie, he gets enough time to where we get to know enough about Hawkeye and say, yeah, he's a cool character. And then in Age of Ultron, even though people are very mixed about that movie, he gets his time to where we really know a lot about him, and he becomes more of a developed character, and Jeremy Renner just owns that role. And even then, people still kind of made fun of him. Now, without the presence of Hawkeye, people are like, where's Hawkeye? Where's Hawkeye? I feel like he's in the movie somewhere, and I feel like the trailers just want to market those that are a little more popular. They want to market the big 3, obviously, Iron Man, Thor, and Steve Rogers, but they also want to market the Guardians of the Galaxy because one of their characters is so tied to Thanos. They obviously want to market Thanos. They want to market Doctor Strange and the Vision because they both carry Infinity Stones. They want to market Spider-Man because he's Spider-Man, and they want to market the characters from Black Panther because that movie is still in theaters. It's still in everyone's mind. Why the fuck have I not seen it a second time? I should probably go out and do that once I finish recording this. But anyway, I feel like there's just not enough room to market Hawkeye, but I feel like he is going to be in the movie, and if he's not in this movie, then I'm sure he and Ant-Man will be in the 4th Avengers movie, because they've said that the 4th Avengers movie is not going to be Infinity War Part 2, but it will still be a continuation of however this movie ends up being. So I'm sure we'll see him. Nobody puts Hawkeye in a corner. Alright, the last reaction I'm going to feature is from Stacey Howard, who you may have seen on the Schmodown. She's been on Movie Fights on Screen Junkies, and she co-hosts the podcast 6 Degrees of Feature Film with Miss Movies.
So while I'm getting gas, I figured I'd talk about Avengers Infinity War. We just saw the trailer tonight at Hyper RPG. My favorite moment was probably when little kid Gamora is grabbing Thanos' hand. I thought that was a great emotional moment. I was happy to see that there's probably going to be some kind of dynamic and emotional history with them, so that's really great. Everything else looked awesome. I'm hyped. Avengers Infinity War, yes!
So going back to that shot in the trailer where we see Gamora as a little kid holding Thanos' hand, I'm very nervous for Gamora. I mean, I've already mentioned all the characters that I think are going to die. I don't think Gamora is going to die, but because I feel like she's so tied to Thanos, there's going to be a lot of issues with her. She's had a lot of character development throughout the first 2 Guardians movies, but I feel like she's going to get a lot of attention. Her and Nebula, which Nebula is another character that I think is going to get killed off. Because out of all the horror stories that Nebula told us in Volume 2, and the fact that she just wants revenge against Thanos, Thanos is going to crush her like a bug. So yeah, we'll see what happens. That's all the reactions I have, and I am just so pumped to see this movie. I'm so glad that we're getting to see it a week early. I got my tickets. I'm excited for it. This is my most anticipated movie of the year, and I'm probably going to be an emotional wreck seeing this because I remember seeing the first Iron Man 10 years ago in the theaters. I remember seeing the Avengers when it came out 6 times in the theater, and yeah, this is just a big event film 10 years in the making. And I doubt there's any other movie that comes out that's probably gonna be like this in terms of being built up and hyped up for 10 years. There's nothing else out there that could possibly even match how much work Marvel put into setting up this entire universe and leading up to this moment. So April 27th can't get here soon enough. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. The next Stardust related video that I'm going to be doing is a spoiler review for Pacific Rim Uprising. So once you go see Pacific Rim Uprising, go ahead, tag me in your reactions. If you're not already a member of Stardust, once again, go ahead, download the app on your phone, go create an account, go follow me, RealMrRobinson, tag me in your reactions, and I'll pick out the best reactions to feature in the video. You could go to the link right here, stardust.app.link/RealMrRobinson. And until next time, I hope you enjoyed this review. Leave a comment down below and tell me what your thoughts are on the Infinity War trailer. What are your favorite moments in the trailer? And is there anything about the trailer that just makes you feel nervous? Let me know in the comments below. And until next time, this is the Real Mr. Robinson telling you there's only one.